Hello, welcome. My name is Bryce Tubbs. With me today is Beth Workman. She's a transformational life coach for the busy working woman, and she's the founder of Ascending Health Coaching. I'm super excited to be able to really have this conversation with her because I was reading through her profile and talking to her in some preliminary chats, and it looks like she does some really great stuff. Thanks so much for coming on the show, Beth.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
You're welcome. And for those watching, if you are watching this from any other location that is not inside of our free community, I just want to personally invite you inside. Inside, we're having great conversations and space and mastermind where we come together and support each other each day. So if that's what you've been missing in your life, come and join us inside by clicking the link either above or below the video. We'd love to have you. Now, Beth, what was life like before you got into coaching, and what was the catalyst that brought you into the field?
So I actually began my career in like health and life with helping my clients as a massage therapist and esthetician. And I had been in the spa industry for about 17 years, and I got to this point in my career where there wasn't any growth for me personally, and there wasn't any growth for me financially. Financial freedom is a huge goal of mine. It's something that is very important to me, as well as being able to be home with my family. I have two children. I'm married. I have two children, and I'm currently expecting. So that's kind of exciting, growing our family as we speak. But I just kind of got to this point in my career where I wanted to do something more. I wanted to expand on what I was already doing, which was being a caregiver for people in a physical way with massage therapy and aesthetics with skincare. I wanted to do it transformationally on the inside. So I did my research and found a great school to become a health and a life coach, and it just really took off from there. I found my calling.
Nice. Let me ask you this question. So what problem are people generally trying to solve when they come and work with you?
I typically work with busy working moms, busy working women who are having a hard time balancing both their career and their family life. And they feel like they have to choose one over the other. I have conversations from women that, are like, I'm constantly doing this on my phone while my husband or, my spouse, my significant other, or my children are trying to get my attention. And their attention is split. And they're feeling constantly overwhelmed, constantly stressed out, not able to make decisions clearly, feeling like there's a lot of guilt, there's no communication, especially with themselves. And my goal really is to help these women understand that they are the number one. They are not aligned and feeling confident about themselves, then they can't provide for their family and they can't do their job well. And so many moms put themselves last. They put themselves on the very bottom of the to-do list, which is something that you shouldn't do as a mom, because you're the emotional leader of your household. And if you can't emotionally lead, then everything is falling apart.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask this question. So, what's the first step for them to either get more space or more, just kind of separation between the work and the life balance,
Yeah. I think that the first step is discovering what their anchor is. And when I mean their anchor is, there's two terms for anchors, and I use anchors as motivational tools in my coaching, where you find something that helps to keep you motivated on track. And the other anchor is the anchor that is tying you down, that is weighing you down, that is drowning you and preventing you from actually moving forward. What that is, most of it is usually it's an emotional component, these feelings of guilt, this deep inner subconscious belief about themselves that is limiting and it's no longer working for them. And once they discover what that is, that's the first step in their next development of, okay, now we've got that figured out, we can work on that, and everything else can kind of fall into place. Because it's not just the deep inner work, it's also the strategy. There has to be strategy behind what you're doing. You can't just deep inner work and not go into action, and you can't just take action without doing the deep inner work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. Let me ask you this question. So right now, probably, working moms, they used to have a lot more of a different type of stress, but now there's more stress because there's, combined the work. Now you're working at home on a virtual thing, and you have your, children, your family pulling at you. Can you talk about maybe some things that you've learned about balancing during these interesting times?
Yeah. Yeah. So balancing the staying at home, working, kids are at home. They're, school is now at home. This was a huge thing that started back in March. In my area particularly, I don't know, nationally, there was other time, other people were dealing with other things, but for moms who go away to work, that can be a relief for them, because they get a little separation from their child, and they get to go into themselves. But then there's always this thought process behind them, where they are thinking about home and they want to be home. And I heard so many times women saying to me, like, oh, I wish I could just work at home. And then it's like, and it's like, boom, okay, here you go, wish granted. Now you get to work at home, but now your kids are home too. And how do you, how do you find that balance? So it has to do with, again, going back into what is the trigger, what's causing their stress and anxiety, their overwhelm, and then allotting time. Time management is really big when you are working from home and your children are home. They're learning from home now, which is just mind-blowing to me that anybody is actually graduating at this point. I don't know if you have children, but watching my kids try to learn from distance learning is really difficult, because they need that engagement in class. It's so important for their social development too. And it's important for parents to have some separation as well. So time management is really important when you're balancing that new dynamic of everybody home, of saying like, okay, this is my time to work. This is non-negotiable. I have to separate myself from the family right now. And then this is my time to help you. I'm lucky enough where I get to design my schedule, because I'm my own boss. I work from home. I've worked from home for a while now. So then all of a sudden the kids are home, and I've had to, knowing that I am the emotional leader in the household, my needs need to be met, other moms' needs need to be met, and they really need to learn how to say, I need space to work, and they do it without guilt. And then they can invite their family in and say, okay, now that work is done, I can now fully pay attention to you and not have the distraction. But again, that goes into the whole balancing the emotions that go along with putting your hand up and saying, no, I don't have time right now for you. I have to focus on work, and time, allotting time and time management.
That's a great point. Let me ask you this question. So just thinking like after this and just down the road, what's the vision for you for as far down the road as you like to think or talk about?
Well, let's see. My biggest vision for myself is I want to be on stage in front of people. I have a history of my own personal growth. My personal growth really began many, many years ago, but 6 years ago, I really stepped into who I am today and started that process. And I would love to be influencing people from a stage in a grander scale. That's really like the biggest vision that I have.
That could be cool. I could really see you doing well on some stages, because what you're doing is very needed. So, I mean, I'm glad that they have you to really help them out.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me ask you this question. Are you working on any new projects? Do you have any course openings, coaching, group options?
Can you repeat that again? You cut out just a little bit.
I said, do you have anything new going on? Any one-on-one coaching spots open, group coaching courses?
Yeah, definitely. Right now I'm focusing on one-on-one coaching. I haven't yet I've done a little bit of group coaching, but I really like to focus one-on-one. I think that it's really important to when you have a woman that's really needing the deeper work, the one can get that transformation and be successful. So I love one-on-ones much more than I like to do groups. But as time evolves, it's not something that I'm completely cutting out of my potential. But right now, it's just one-on-one, which I love to do.
Nice. Where can they go to learn more about you? Where can they go to connect with you further?
Well, I have a LinkedIn page, Beth Workman, and then I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. And then I can be reached healthcoaching@gmail.com.
Excellent. Thanks for your time today. I really appreciate speaking to you and learning more about you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Bryce. I appreciate you reaching out. That was awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. I can't wait to see, how much more you grow and where else you get to go after this, And for those watching, we thoroughly hope you found this valuable. Now, if you're looking for a place where people are improving themselves and helping others to do the same, people just like Beth, I recommend you go and join us inside of our free community. I'm going to put some links either above or below the video. So hopefully you have a great day. We will see you in the next video. We're done recording in 3 and 2 and 1, and we're